Of course, this is Section 1, with a focus and directness on the alien story. Commanders saw through the hologram, showing his angular face twisted with contempt. As he looked at the blue sphere of Earth calmly floating among the stars, he said, "Another primitive planet." His claws tapped against the control panel. "This victory will be simple. An appropriate training area for our youngest." His subordinates nodded in agreement, their glistening dark armor reflecting the faint light. Soon, hazy reports arrived from the control rooms. Scouts who had ventured near Earth's atmosphere observed, "The cities of humanity are simple. Their technology and infrastructure, little more than a mosaic of fossil fuels, metals, and equipment, antiquated by any standard." Zith, a junior officer, mocked their findings. "Metal airships? Soft cloth uniforms? They are practically begging to be conquered." Sith, the commander, expressed a similar sentiment. "Such a historically inferior species. Their civilizations fall apart with little effort. This time will be no different." He devised a strategy, a show of overwhelming force. "We will suppress any local opposition and gain control within days." But a cautious voice cut in. "Sir, reports from our scouts indicate odd resistance. Despite their disarray, humans are putting up a stronger fight than expected." Sith laughed, dismissing the concern. "Even the most primitive creatures muster courage when cornered. It's fear, nothing more. We'll crush their spirit quickly." This next part is Section 2. The alien forces confidently advanced, believing this resistance was insignificant. As the first wave of ships entered Earth's atmosphere, shadows spread over towns and fields. People on the ground looked up, seeing silent, menacing machines hovering above, scouting, mapping, broadcasting their superiority. Panic swept across the planet, but so did resolve. Civilians and troops alike scrambled to prepare defenses. They worked with limited resources, setting up in secret locations, devising unconventional strategies. An alien communications officer, perplexed, observed, "Humans are quick to organize. They formed small, adaptable groups, scavenging whatever technology they can." Sith, unimpressed, rolled his eyes. "Let them try. Our main fleet will end this quickly." Yet, reports of sporadic opposition began pouring in. Humans were attacking alien vessels in forests, mountains, and even urban areas. Alien detachments found themselves ambushed. Scouts reported humans lying in wait, setting traps in strategic locations. Sith growled in frustration. "Vermin!" But vermin only delay the inevitable. However, these vermin adapted. Each alien weapon or strategy was met with a new countermeasure. Homemade explosives, concealed vehicles, and guerrilla tactics frustrated the alien forces. Sith's irritation turned to confusion. "How do they learn so quickly?" he muttered, watching feeds of human fighters. This is Section 3. Alien leaders expected human resistance to crumble under their superior firepower. Instead, they encountered increasing sophistication. Ambushes and counterattacks became the norm. What should have been abandoned streets became death traps, with humans attacking from rooftops, alleyways, and even tunnels beneath the ground. Alien warriors, unaccustomed to such resistance, grew uneasy. Sith ordered an intense assault on a major human city. "They will see the might of our fleet and surrender," he declared, but what he witnessed was unimaginable. Human defenders launched daring counterattacks, striking from alleys, structures, and even underground. Each time the aliens gained ground, the humans struck back with renewed ferocity. Days stretched into weeks. Sith clenched his fists, watching with gritted teeth. "Why won't they break?" Alien officers began to whisper among themselves, unnerved. "These humans, they adapt. Each loss teaches them something new." One junior officer, Varn, muttered bitterly, "They're like insects. Every time we crush them, they find another way to resist." The aliens had never encountered a species like this. Humans were relentless, fighting not just for survival but for something deeper, something the aliens could not comprehend. They fought for freedom, for family, for a home they refused to surrender. Captured humans, even when isolated and deprived, remained defiant. They spoke of unity, love, and sacrifice. These concepts were alien to their captors, whose own society valued power and obedience over personal bonds. Sith and his commanders began to realize a terrible truth. Humans were not just fighting to survive, they were fighting for ideals, and no amount of firepower could extinguish those. By now, the alien forces were stretched thin. Every step forward met resistance. Every victory came at a cost. Where once they marched confidently, they now moved cautiously. The humans had become more than just an enemy. They had become a nightmare, one that would haunt the galaxy forever. The aliens attempted to analyze more. People were more perplexed by humanity's levels. Human soldiers displayed impressive resilience in combat. Flexibility seemed to help them recover more robustly after every battle. Some aliens conjectured that trauma is processed by human brains and strengthened in a different way when pressured instead of making them less determined. Findings showed that humans seemed able to push themselves far beyond physical bounds. This attribute, though, was something the alien species, for all of its sophisticated technologies, was unable to duplicate: human endurance. It appeared to be braided into their character, a quality that made it difficult to conquer them using just brute force. This adaptability became increasingly apparent as human combatants modified their strategies following each engagement, swiftly learning from every interaction. Without a centralized authority to manage them, human fighters discovered methods to combat foreign technologies with instruments that the aliens viewed as archaic. The invaders quickly learned that undervaluing the inventiveness of humanity had been a disastrous error. Instead of relying on sophisticated technology, humans utilized inventiveness, creating traps from ecological assets or undermining alien weaponry with unexpected efficiency. Human strategies exposed a startling reality. Even in the absence of superior weapons, humans could fight, adjust, and retaliate with unpredictable precision. Alien forces started to notice a change in their own ranks. The extraterrestrial troops observed that humanity's determination was beginning to question their own purpose. Humanity's resilience and unity weren't the outcome of commands or terror, but a common purpose, deciding to fight for something that made each human combatant dangerous in their own right. A few foreign officers began to wonder why their own system didn't work to engender such devotion, wondering if their own values were flawed, leaving their troops susceptible against the indomitable spirit of humans. What had appeared to be a straightforward invasion was becoming an existential dilemma. The extraterrestrial troops now faced a species unique to them. To keep it focused and sharp, the alien command mustered all of its strength, resolved to strike a final blow that would end the relentless resistance. The tactics they used employed their most potent weapons, destructive instruments that had transformed whole societies. The goal was to overwhelm, but as they prepared, reports showed that humanity seemed to have seen their action coming. Humans, conscious of any change in alien tactics, modified their personal defenses at a startling rate. As the aliens' attack started, humanity fought back against much better organized defenders, much more robust than previous human combatants. Aware of the imminent attack, humans had strengthened strategic locations and created places of strategic importance that rendered the advantage of extraterrestrial firepower ineffective. These fortified areas were invaded by soldiers intending to crush the last pieces of human resistance, only to find themselves confronting a maze of well-planned traps. Every advance was met with counterattacks, accurate and lethal human reactions carried out with a discipline comparable to the aliens' professional force. The versatility of humanity had turned these citizens and volunteers into a unified, lethal defense force. Each time, they became more adept at moving with an almost automatic comprehension of one another's behavior. Their opposition, less frantic and more coordinated, turned into a well-thought-out defense. Alien soldiers found themselves constantly on the defensive, struggling to make progress despite the persistent opposition. The dissatisfaction in the alien command grew, as even their most advanced weaponry was insufficient. Extraterrestrial soldiers who opposed human resiliency faced frequent failures, and some started to back off from the strain. The extraterrestrial leaders, observing their forces lost ground, had to recognize an unexpected human reality. Combatants had become cognizant of extraterrestrial flaws, attacking weak points with shocking precision. They knew where to hit, how to take advantage of openings, and how to compel the aliens into compromising situations. The aliens were dealing with a completely new type of conflict in which technology did not give them the advantage. They had relied on human combatants, who demonstrated an inventiveness that was almost frightening. Humans took every accessible advantage from their surroundings and turned it against their adversaries. The aliens discovered ruthless efficiency, perplexed as to how a species with such rudimentary technology had succeeded in cultivating a battle instinct so sharp and specifically designed to combat each strategy with precision.